What's up, everybody? It's Azim Risk here from Power Rangers Megaforce and Super Megaforce, and you're listening to Ranger Recap on RVT Entertainment.
Okay, come on. Oh, God damn it, I still can't get this randomizer fixed. Jesus Christ. Oh.
Hey, wait.
Whoa, wait, what the hell? I'm not playing anything.
Superhero time starts now.
That.
Yeah, seriously. This thing randomizer keeps repeating itself. Jesus. Okay. Thankfully not everything's that bad. Thankfully, Mike Shell actually emailed me about when he heard about the problems last time. He also warned me, no, word of warning, avoid putting in cheat codes like ADKFA or the Konami code. I could tell you it would bring up the where the dead go to die, but no, the results are far worse. Oh, good lord. We don't need that, that's for sure. Anyway.
Yeah, that helps.
You know what? We've got ourselves some more time because we got something else to play tonight. So you know what? I actually still have access to the intro files, and I could play something else for the time being. We'll play that. We'll do this. We'll have a good night tonight. Let's make this a big one. All right, boys? You ready?
We're on YouTube! Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Everyone, and welcome to the Ranger Recap, the only Power Rangers podcast that dares to ask the question, SPD, SPD, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Wow.
Yeah, that's all I could think of on a whim.
That's all right. We've got another one of your little intros to do later on.
Yeah, anyway, for those of you who don't know, welcome to our first and hopefully not the last YouTube stream. I'm your host, Easy Rider. These are my cohorts. Over there, anime, well, sort of anime reviewer, Family Man The Shades.
Hi-oh! How we doing, everybody?
And our classic PR fan / wrestling expert is Matty Jay.
YouTube money! We're on YouTube! I can call everybody out now! Black Nerd Comedy!
Matty,
everyone!
Matty!
Go for you!
God!
Matty! Take it down a notch.
Chill, my brother, chill!
Sorry. Still trying to calm down over the Sami Zayn blowing up Montreal incident.
Ah, that explains it.
Not literally, just mentally.
I'm telling you, that Bell Center is not going to be the same for Game 5.
No.
No, it isn't. Anyway, big show tonight. We've got a few things to talk about before we get to the main chorus. Big one coming up. Actually, well, we might as well mention this in passing, but for those of you who haven't heard, the Power Rangers movie date has been changed. It's been passed from 2016 to 2017. And we're walking, and we're walking.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, look at all these fucks I don't give.
Hey, what about that new tagline?
We exist. Wow.
What are we, the Illuminati all of a sudden?
I'm sure once the movie comes out, it'll make more sense. But right now, that's not. Yeah, that's almost something like a plea.
It sounds like we exist is, hey, we're still here more than we're secretive, but we're going to come out and make you blow your goddamn mind at the same time.
Yeah.
We know Transformers, G.I. Joe, and even Jem got a movie franchise before we did, but we exist. We exist. Also, I just figured it out. Triangle, Pyramid, and Zeo. Oh my god, the Power Rangers are connected to the Illuminati. Run! Lizard people! Wake up! Other than that, There was also a new video today, and yeah, we're gonna have to talk about it. Maddie, you might want to get the button prepped.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go.
Superpower beatdown happened.
Yeah.
And for those wondering, he won.
Yeah, we have one thing to say about that. Green Ranger sucks! Green Ranger sucks! Ranger sucks! Green Ranger sucks!
Thank you, San Francisco crowd.
Oh, God.
Thank Philly. Thank everybody that participates in that running gag now.
Yeah.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the John Cena of Power Rangers, yeah, Tommy Oliver, aka the Green Guy,
Defeats Ryu of Street Fighter. Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. I love Power Rangers much anyway, but bullshit!
57% is the winner on that one.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you never decide a battle to the death by fan vote.
Look, JDF, we liked you. We really did like you before all this stuff went down, but frickin', we hate to keep going back to wrestling, fellow listeners, but frickin', is it just me or does Bat in the Sun push Jason David Frank more than Vince McMahon does John Cena in the WWE? It's uncanny.
Yeah.
We should probably clear out our position when it comes to that particular situation. We don't think the Green Ranger sucks. We just think JDF is overpushed, or I want to say overrated because it's over. The word is overused.
Yeah. Also, as Shade says, voting not the best idea to do. Also, this just proves why Death Battle is better.
Yes. And not just because the frickin' Epion destroyed the White Tiger Zord. No, it's more than that, but that didn't hurt either.
Let's be honest here. That was a close fight, but let's get to the meat of this. A couple things we need to call BS on. First, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the Sword of Darkness get destroyed? So how could...
It got destroyed, Easy, by Power Blaster.
Yes, and how come the Green Ranger can just suddenly pull that? And yet he pulled it out of his ass. Not literally, because that would hurt, but he just pulled it out of thin air. I didn't know he could do that. I don't remember that from any Power Rangers episodes. Do you?
Not that I recall. Then again, I think the way he shows up kind of implies that he's gone back to Rita at this point, because when he sure shows up in that fight, he's got the green evil eyes. So I think they're trying to imply that he's evil again, which... Again, bullshit. Also, I have a working theory about this fight. What if, and hear me out on this, I'm not saying it's valid or anything, but what if this was the cloned evil Green Ranger that Lord Zed created, the one that went back in time? Maybe he's immortal like the Highlander.
If we're gonna go semantics into detail, yeah.
There's always that possibility.
Also, but here's the thing. If we're going by Death Battle rules, if we're going to all weapons, technically, I think they might have pulled out that weapon as well. I wouldn't blame the Death Battle guys for whipping out the Sword of Darkness.
That's true. Death Battle would have probably pulled that out as well.
They would have pulled every able weapon to the weapon on both sides to make it as even as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they had Green Ranger do the Chekhov's Kamehameha, or AKA the energy blast he pulled in episode 1 and then never used again, or episode 17 if we're being
technical.
Pulling semantics.
Green with evil part yada yada. We got the DVD
exactly
for shit.
Basically, he threw his own Hadouken and Chekhov's gunned it. So I'm actually kind of glad they pulled that out. But okay, Sword of Darkness. Okay, we'll come back to you.
Well, Sword of Darkness, it's like, yeah, we still got BS on that, but that's not the biggest crime.
We'll come back to you.
Oh.
Then the Dragon Dagger.
Can I just say that they made him look good? until the Dragon Dagger. Not the dagger.
You were doing so well. You were doing so well.
Hell,
Pat, in the
hell.
and then-
I would say this: I see when you first see him, you see the modified armor, and you know what? It's not terrible. I'm like, okay, I can live with that. And then the dagger shows up.
I'm cool.
And then the dagger shows up, and any hope, any glimmer of hope you had of that outfit looking the way it did, went right out the window.
Silver streak helmet.
Yeah.
And again.
Oh no! I'm gonna go one step further. Because here's the thing: I know they heard the complaints about the helmet. They didn't just ignore it. They threw it in the haters' faces.
They basically hit the eat a dick button.
They did. They fucking did.
Well, sir, if you're having a problem with our customer support, you can call 1-800-EAT-IT.
We don't even have those.
That's basically what they just did.
Yeah, seriously.
In video format.
It's uncanny. It's uncanny how they just whipped out the silver line on freaking helmet. You had one job. Superpower beatdown.
Hey, you know what? King of Kings on their YouTube chat. If you don't agree with that,
Yeah,
then there's one word that describes you.
And I'm gonna spell it out for you.
I have to bring
Hey,
W-F-T.
F-T.
Soft.
You know, I was before we, ran into each other, stumbling into this worst spelling of the word soft ever.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring the wrestling back, but this is yeah. Just I got a better one. And again, Sheiky.
Fucking bullshit.
That's the helmet right there.
By the way, King of Kings, that's hairball.
Yeah.
That's hairball.
Fair enough. How you doing, Hairball?
How you doing?
Also, if imagine how pissed off we are. Just imagine how Dan's Tokerans is gonna react.
Oh, I can imagine. Here's my other complaint.
We're on their boat.
Yeah, we're probably with them on this one.
We're on their boat on this one. You think we're pissed?
Yeah. Also, another complaint I have to make. Okay, I could understand Ryu in regular form having a fight with JDF. I can live with that.
Yeah.
But when he goes evil Ryu, no. That is where Death Battle would have went the opposite way, because I don't care how badass JDF thinks he is. Evil Ryu is literally his anger and need of violence jacked up to infinity. All right?
Basically, JDF is John Cena in this situation, and Ryu in evil Ryu form should be Brock Lesnar.
Amen. Because
Suplex City, bitch.
yeah, I don't care how powerful you think you are with your Dragon Dagger or the Sword of Darkness. Motherfucker is giving you every ounce of energy he has, even if he doesn't need to. You're lucky he didn't use that.
For the non-wrestling fans out there, JDF Homer Simpson, Evil Ryu, Drederick Tatum.
There you go. There you go.
That's a good analogy. Also, they actually skipped. Did anyone else notice this? They skipped one of Ryu's forms. They actually skipped his ultimate form.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other part,
The
too.
nothingness. They did not use the nothingness.
Even
Stupid
Death
thing.
Battle, yeah, it's stupid, but even Death Battle remembered that form. If he had pulled that out, yeah, Greedy would have been dead.
You know what? That's the alternate ending. Calling it now.
Yeah, that
Probably.
better be, because I'm waiting to see that. I hope they pulled that out of
Because
that.
Superpower Beatdown does throw it, because it's fan voted, but they have both endings. So they have the alternate ending.
Everybody wins. And anyway, last thing up before we get to the meat of this, or the point we're here, because we're not doing an episode. Anyway, Sword of Darkness. Okay, we said our piece on that. But when Dark Ryu, or Ryu, whichever, attacks him with a full-on Hadouken, an ultimate one, a one that should freaking kill anything in its path.
It should kill
has.
Brock Lesnar and Drederick Tatum clean off.
Yeah. And Floyd Money Mayweather. It should have shattered the Sword of Darkness, but it didn't. Explain me that one.
Yeah, okay, they try to make it look like the Sword of Darkness is this super powerful item. Okay, yeah, it increases his power, but in itself is not that strong. How do we know this? It got destroyed by a Blade Blaster!
One shot. One
Yeah.
shot. And that wasn't even in the Sentai. All Barai had to do was cry on it, and it went away. Pretty weak fucking sword.
Yeah, in and of itself, the Sword of Darkness, or the Hellfried for you Sentai purists out there, is not that strong. It's not a very durable weapon. It's just designed to increase the violent power of its wielder 100-fold. It
didn't even mind control Barai. It was just a bonus for him.
Yeah. And actually, technically, it wasn't immediately the part that controlled Tommy either. Rita just made the dumb mistake of tying it to her control of him.
Yeah, Rita's the one who put the whole magic juju on him first.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is, final verdict, JDF wins, LOL, bat in the sun. What are we complaining about? This isn't going to change anything. Let's move on.
Yeah. I did have one other thing I wanted.
Let's put it this way. Superpower beatdown, you suck.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're biased.
Obviously. Well, it's not like they have a whole show about JDF. Oh wait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Let's move on. I do have one other thing. Before we get to the interview, I do have one other thing I wanted to bring up because, as I promised this already, but I wanted to get this out here, is that if I didn't mention this, I know somebody in that chat would call me out on it because, as you guys know, a certain game came out this last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, here's the part where Shades makes us jealous.
Yeah. I was smart enough to pre-order this son of a bitch before it came out, so I got first dibs on it. So, and I know these two guys are waiting for the mobile versions to come out, and they're going to get it as well, or they're going to find other ways to play it. But,
Yep.
Chroma Squad, the new game from Behold Studios, that is basically a turn-based strategy mixed with a little Sentai fun. Is it any good? Well, let's give you the rundown. The story, as it were, the basic premise is that a bunch of stunt actors for a Power Rangers-esque series is basically tired of the director being a complete dipshit. So they go off and decide to make their own studio and do their own kind of show.
Actually, before we continue, should I hit the spoilers button?
No, I'm not going to go too far into it. Trust me, this is not even close to the spoilers.
Okay.
So, I was just about to finish up anyway. They create their own studio, and hijinks ensue, as you would expect, since you're trying to make a Sentai series out of cardboard bucket heads. Like, literally, one of them is a bucket helmet, and the other one's a cardboard helmet. You get a whole bunch of crazy shit. They do improve to higher stick quality as the game goes on, obviously. And actually, there's two ways to get new equipment. You either buy it, or you make it. When you defeat monsters, you actually get, like, duct tape and cardboard boxes and shit like that, and you craft it together to create new gear, which is actually really cool. You start out with the generic swords and guns, but eventually, like, most of the team gets their own kinds of weapons. The assist character gets a bow, Techie gets a sniper rifle, leader gets the spear, assault person gets a fucking battle axe, and the scout gets daggers. Now, you notice I didn't say colors because you can actually choose any color for any role. So, if you want to recreate Time Force and make Jen the leader, you're welcome to do that.
Ooh.
If you want to get the pink ranger or the biggest battle axe in the world,
You can do that. Yeah. And you can put any color and any person in any role. So it's a matter of what role do you think that person should play.
If you want to save 50% or more on your car insurance, you're in the wrong game.
But each of the actors that you choose have their own stats, have their own bonuses, and some have defects. So you have to really plan your characters out correctly. And it's a lot of very intuitive. I'm going to say this right now. when it comes to the strategy elements, it is pretty fun. Like, you really have to think about what your moves are and what your powers are. You gain each of your roles gain new abilities as the game goes on, and you have to actually use them a lot. There's also, the one thing I love, and this is where the Sentai element comes in, is the teamwork effect. In each battle, your characters can go into a teamwork state, where they don't actually attack on their own, but they set themselves up to do one of two things. Well, three, technically. You can do a teamwork acrobatic, where you can help, like, stand in between the other Rangers, and the monsters, and you can actually catapult them to go even farther. And this is where the assault person is very helpful, because they automatically get a bonus, an ability, that allows them to super launch them even further. And trust me, that comes in handy for a few levels. And then there's the teamwork attack. If you're in teamwork state next to an enemy, and another one of your teammates comes up and attacks them, they can do a double attack, or a triple, or a quadruple, or if you have all 5, you can do the finishing blow. Now, my one complaint at this point is that there's no customizing the finishing attack. You can change the name of it, but it's the same thing. All 5 Rangers jump into the air, beams of light shoot down, surround the enemy, and then they all do this, like, quintuple attack, hitting the monster. That's it. But, so, that's the main bulk of the action mode, is you move your characters around to fight the enemies, set up your team attacks, and then you have to follow director's instructions, where he tells you certain tasks that you need to perform for that particular episode, or that particular segment of the episode. Sometimes it's broken up into 2 or 3 segments. And if you complete that, you gain audience. Your audience grows for that episode. And you want that to happen, because you need a portion of your audience will turn into hardcore fans, and a portion of that audience will be generating your income, which you need to buy shit. And the fans come into play when you actually advertising, and you actually have to use the fan power, as they call it, to activate certain marketing perks, which increase your fan base, increase your income, increase whatever, anything. So you got all that together, but wait, I hear you. What about the mechs? Oh yes, we has them. And the customization applies there too. You can actually build a superpowered mech, but have no special attack. Wouldn't recommend it, but it's there. Crunchman, I did not know that. I will have to try that. Crunchman points out that there actually can be a final strike with the weapons if all 5 have one and are available.
You just gave him an extra strategy. Congratulations.
Right. Yes, I will have to try that. I need to do that sometime. Anyway, you have mechs, and you can customize them. Each of I know both arms and the chest have, like, final strike attacks that you can use. I think the legs might, but I think it's more for healing and defense. And I know the head doesn't. But they all have their different abilities. Some don't, and they all have their different stats that you want to use. In the mech battle, you can do combos. Each time you hit the attack button, you build up a combo. But be careful. If you miss, you break your combo, and then the enemy gets to attack. But the combo does more than just, double up the attack power or increase the attack strength each hit. You also, for those abilities, as you build up your abilities, build up your combo, your abilities can gain additional boosts to their effect. So, like, let's say, your final strike does so much damage. Well, you built that combo up and hit that finish strike during your combo, it will deal extra damage. And then some abilities are based on what your combo is. So if you use it right away, you won't get much, but if you built your combo up pretty high, it will be very helpful. So a lot of different things you can do with this game. The strategy's good. It's not perfect, but for an indie game like this that was literally funded by Kickstarter, holy shit. I mean, I think the only few things I would say are off about it is there's not enough actors to choose from. There's not enough variety. And you can't customize the actors. They have a set amount, and you have to kind of pick and choose from that, which sucked for me because there wasn't enough to create the ultimate RVT team.
Damn it.
Yeah. I've come as close as I can get. The only caveat is I had to make Easy a robot.
Ouch.
Yeah, they did not have anyone that looked close enough to you. They didn't have anyone that looked close enough to me. So the two people who got luckiest were probably actually the ladies. I know I got a Lady K who's perfect.
Of course.
Of course, I know. I don't know how that happened. And I got a pretty decent one for Jody, though. It's give or take on that one.
Hey, easy. You could rest assured that you now have an archer as an enemy.
This is quite true.
And of course, Matty, I did have one close for you. The only different thing is that you wear glasses now.
I'll take it.
But other than that, it looks pretty close, I'll admit. So a lot of cool features on it. That's the only major complaint. Color-wise, you get enough options. No gold or silver or anything like that. But I guess metallic colors would be hard to do with this kind of like 8-bit, like 16 to 8-bitish style.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're wondering, final verdict, if you should pick this up for what, $15 I think it is right now, do it. If you are a Power Rangers fan, if you're listening to this podcast, you're obviously a Power Rangers fan, and you will love this game. You will have a blast. The story is good. The humor they have, a lot of in-jokes, a lot of references. Not only just Power Rangers or Sentai, but just in general references. A lot of fun stuff.
A lot of Toku references.
Yeah. Also, Crunchman points out another one. Sad part is a twist in irony. Because of legal issues, the game can't be sold on Steam in Asia.
Oh.
They can't. You can't. Well, you can still get it on GOG or the Humble Indie bundles. The Humble Bundles, but you can't get it on Steam in Asia, which is kind of ironic considering what kind of game, what the theme is. But yeah, definitely pick this game up. You won't be disappointed.
All right. Well, I think we've jawed about a game me and Matty can't play for long enough. Let's get to why we're really here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those who are here wondering, who are these three idiots, talking about the other stuff? I want to hear the good stuff. You're about to.
We've heard about Blizz Blaz and him already. Get to the bloody point!
Yes, I'm sure a lot of you guys came here to hear our exclusive interviews. We have those interviews lined up. We're going to first give you the interviews with Mikey and Jonimus and Valdez from Rangerstop. And then we've got a couple of awesome... we got an awesome promo from a S.P.D. Ranger who couldn't make it to the interview, but was happy to give it to us. We've got two of those, actually. One in between and one at the end. And then in between those, we have our exclusive interview with Chris Violette, S.P.D. Blue. So you guys sit back, relax, and enjoy. Oh, and by the way, don't leave after that because we still got more. We got emails and comments, and we still got our Sentai tournament. Here's the bracket as we speak. Tonight, Kyoryuger and Sun Vulcan finish their fight. In the description here on YouTube, there is a link to that straw poll where you can vote on who you think is the better team. We'll be announcing the winner later tonight. But for now, enjoy our special interview.
Toku Faithful, welcome back to the Ranger Recap, the only Power Rangers podcast that dares ask the question, why aren't you on the East Coast in November? Shades and Matty here as always, but of course we also have some special guests here. Our good buddies from Rangerstop, Jonathan, Mikey, Valdez. Guys, introduce yourselves. How we doing?
Hey guys, it's Mikey. How are y'all?
Valdez, what's up?
It's John here. Hello.
Gentlemen,
Gotta have you guys back on the show.
Glad to be back.
It's been too long.
Yes, it has.
Round two.
How have you guys
ready.
been? You guys have been running around a lot.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a tad.
just a bit.
That mad dash, you know how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Daily grind.
Yeah, we got Rangerstop coming up in November. You guys must be really geared up now because it's getting close to game time.
We're almost to that point. Halfway point's coming up here soon. Well, a little bit. I mean, we're still a good way out, but we're ready. We're ready. It's so far the response for the show this year. There's a lot of it's been very positive. There's a lot of buzz. So we're excited. That gets us pumped up and ready.
Well, I think after last year's convention, which ran rather well, I mean, I think people were like, okay, let's see what you guys got this year, and the guest lineup this year has already been off to a fantastic start. I mean, you guys got an SPD reunion. You guys beat freaking Morphicon to that punch.
Which is a big deal, mind you, boys.
You know, it's fun that we had planned to bring Brandon on board, and we spoke with Luch Balao about the guy, the SPD Green Ranger from the Legendary War, who manages Brandon, and he goes, you know what? I can get Chris. I can get Ali. Okay. And then we kept talking. I can get, you know what? I think I can get Monica. Okay. Let's add Matt. Oh, okay, even better. And now we have a team.
Do you want the Pink Ranger too? Because I think she might want to. Just checking.
That's how it works. So, like, what other plans do you guys have for this year?
Well, definitely we have more guests to add to the guest list. A few more guests, and we're having some exciting SPD after our events in the works. So that's going to be something new that you guys haven't seen yet.
Yeah, we really want. Yeah, we really want people to. This year, like I said, definitely trying to up the ante this year. Do something a little bit different from what other shows are doing. I'm not sure if. I think this might be the first time that the SPD cast has done a show together, as far as I know. Am I wrong about that, or could be wrong?
If it's not the first time, it's been a while. I could say that.
Yeah,
if it isn't, it ought to be. Yeah, there seems to be a space theme going around this convention, because not only do you have the SPD Rangers, you've got some Space Rangers too, if I'm not mistaken. Space and Lost Galaxy.
Yeah.
Including our almighty queen, hashtag Hail Astronema.
Yeah.
So that's going to be awesome. Yeah, not to mention, and also space, time and space, because we're in the clear here. We can finally spill the beans here. Latest guest announcement, the Quantum Ranger bitch, Dan Southworth. And a lot of fans are like, oh my god, Easy Rider, you must be psyched that Dan Southworth is coming. It's like, guys, I met him in Morphicon, but I'm glad to see him at Rangerstop, though. I guess fans are thinking I was going to freak out, but how was that? You guys introduced him on the Power Hour. John, Mikey, you were there.
Yes.
How did that feel, introducing him like that, building him up? That must have been exciting.
Yeah, that was our first time releasing a guest through a podcast, and it went over very well. We were able to discuss the show, and he came on and talked about a lot of his current events he's working on, and his time with us at Lexington. He was our guest at Lexington last month, and he had been off the con scene for about 4 years. So,
yep. Yeah, you know what? When I saw you guys with him at Lexington, you know what? I had this nagging feeling in the back of my head. Like, they're probably going to get him for Rangerstop. So when my fans found out I wasn't that surprised that he came, I was like, I just had this feeling.
It looked like you were whining and dining him a little bit there.
Yeah,
just a tad.
Dan's a great guy. He's a fan favorite, and who doesn't love Time Force? So it was really an easy choice for us to make to bring him on board this year.
Yeah, we had a great time with him there at Lexington. He was, Dan. I mean, what can you say about Dan Southworth that hasn't already been said? I mean, probably just about one of the nicest Ranger actors out there. Former Ranger actors out there. Very humble, very down to earth, very easy to talk to and get along with. Is very has a very welcoming and accommodating presence. So it's just he's the way he is towards fans is what it's what Rangerstop is all about. So I mean, he's a perfect fit for the show. So it was kind of a no-brainer once we actually, before the end of Lexington. I mean, I think that the decision had already pretty much been made by probably even after the first couple hours of him just being there with us at the Rangerstop booth. So I mean, like I said, it was kind of a no-brainer, and we're glad to have him on board.
Yeah,
I can attest to that. I chased him all around Morphicon until I got an interview. At the very last day, he finally agreed to it. I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't think I'm gonna stalk him again at Rangerstop, because I'm not.
No.
I just want to walk up to him, see if he remembers me. I'm gonna be like, Matty.
What?
He remembers me.
Sweet.
You don't even. Speaking of guys named Dan, if I'm reading this right, apparently there's gonna be, at the day of this recording on April 25th, there's gonna be another guest announcement on Dan's Token Rants. Is that still holding up?
That is correct. We will announce. No, I'm not going to tell you the name, but
No.
Wouldn't
You
have
guys got to listen to that. Got to listen to that podcast.
We're sending the love over to the boys and
Ranger
girls
recap.
at Dan's Token Rants for this one.
Yeah, we show love for DTR on the Ranger recap. They're basically the cool kids.
And
Yeah,
we're
but
just
that's
trying to
been-
get to that cool kids table.
But it has been part of a bigger marketing strategy you guys have been doing, going to a lot of Power Rangers podcasts, including this one, obviously, and
This
helping
little
to
pissant podcast, which we're eternally grateful for.
yes. So, but coming to all these podcasts and spreading the word out, which I think is pretty smart idea, honestly.
Yeah,
so I
we're
give you guys props for that.
thank you.
Trying to advertise as much as possible, making sure everyone in the fandom is aware of Rangerstop and what we do. So, I mean, this idea of doing your podcast, and other podcasts, it's just what we've been doing. It's great.
And we appreciate you guys for helping us spread the word and, throughout the Ranger community. So,
But we do our best. We name drop you guys every chance we get on our show. I swear to God.
Yep, it's true. I
And
can
hey,
attest to that.
we got experience. We were at the last Rangerstop, and if you can't trust us to say it's an awesome con, who can you trust?
Right.
Let's-
There is.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say we actually have one of our fans actually emailed us a question for you guys. Kind of a couple of questions here. He says John Shearer asks if there are any other plans to build up villains as requested in requests or attendees in the future, because last year we got Diva Talks and we already mentioned Astronema this year. So you guys have any other plans for villains? Any other people you want to invite like that?
I believe we're going to have some more guest announcements coming up. We will most likely have Ranger guests. I am a huge fan of villains. So last year, Diva Talks, Hillary Shepard actually emailed me directly, and I jumped right on board with her. And this year, we went with Astronema. So we still have a few guest spots. So it's possible we can bring another villain in. But as of now, it seems like we got a few more Ranger guests coming along. But much love for the villains.
Oh yeah, I think we've all got our favorites here. One other question he brings up is that more of a suggestion? If an idea for a panel, like a trivia game, where you could give the top 3 to 5 winners different level prizes from like meetings with the guests, free photo ops and stuff, free autograph stuff like that. Have you guys ever considered something like that?
Well, we have something similar, I guess you could say, to that as part of the VIP dinner. But as far as doing like a separate panel with it, I mean, we're definitely always up for new ideas. So I mean, possibly, maybe, but can't say for sure yet. I mean, we would have to see like what the panels look like for this year coming up after this, the fan submissions and all that, and what Rangers are doing, what panels. Once we have that all organized, then we could probably look at that and see if that's a feasible idea for us or not.
Yeah, that's an interesting. It's an interesting idea, at least I thought.
Oh, definitely.
Not a terrible idea.
Oh
no,
of course not. I mean, we just have to see, like I said, just all depends on if we have the time and space. I mean, and the ability to do it, which it doesn't sound like anything hard to pull off. So I mean, if we get something organized, yeah, we're always open to new possibilities.
Power Ranger Family Feud.
or better yet, hey, I've got a copy of the Power Rangers Trivial Pursuit. We can always break that out.
Hey.
Oh God.
No.
Oh man.
One question I'd like to ask is like, I don't know if I've asked this before or not, but is there any guests, any like Ranger actors you'd like to have at Rangerstop that hasn't been invited yet?
Definitely. I mean, for me, one of my favorite Rangers from In Space, Pink Ranger, Patricia Jolie.
Oh yeah, Cassie. Yes, good
Yeah.
choice.
That's one of the Rangers that I personally would like to see attend Rangerstop in the future. Unfortunately, we tried to get a hold of her this year, but we did not hear back. So maybe
next year.
Maybe next year, exactly.
I'm sure Shades over here has some choice words to say to her about her voice work, Shades.
There's one particular role she's done, which unfortunately was not. No offense to you, Patricia, but yeah, lucky star. That's all I'm gonna say. But there is one other voice actor per se that's a Power Ranger that I'd like to have another chance at interviewing. Johnny Young Bosch.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Johnny was at the top of our list. However, he has a UK convention that weekend, so
that's right.
He would be on board for Rangerstop 4. So we're just
hoping.
I owe him. For those who don't remember, at ShadowCon, I had a very bad experience doing an interview with him, and it wasn't his fault, wasn't mine. But because of that, it's an interview that I can never air, and I owe him a true interview. So, if you guys get him, let me know.
Definitely.
Awesome if he brought Eyeshine with him. Would love to have a performance of that, because
there you go.
If you haven't heard these guys, you're missing out.
Yeah, those guys are good.
If that were to happen, I'd give him a Paul Heyman like welcome. You know.
One guy I'd like to probably see at a future show would be awesome if we could get him, sometime in the future. Maybe Jason Chan from Ninja Storm.
Yeah. Oh hell yes.
I would love that.
Yes.
Can't talk in real life if I'm not mistaken. I heard he was.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, he's a pretty friendly guy, pretty down to earth from people that have spoken with him. But yeah, I believe though he lives all the way. I believe he's living in Singapore now. I'm not exactly sure. I know he's living somewhere out there. But yeah, I mean, so
wow.
So he's quite a ways. But maybe who knows? Maybe in the future, maybe we could get him to come out. Maybe we could get, or maybe somebody else from that season. Maybe somebody else from Ninja Storm could come.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get the Ninja Storm crew out there. Oh, yeah. Be awesome if you could get the guy who played both the Sensei and Lothar, because as goofy as Lothar is, that voice of his cracks me up every time I hear it. And some of the things he did was pretty funny. As fans dubbed it, he is a lot like a male Divatox.
That's a pretty good way to describe him.
He is, but he just... Lothar had his moments. I'm not saying he's the greatest villain in Power Ranger history, but he had his moments. Doesn't every villain?
Of course. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, who knows, man? Maybe we'll see Lothar someday. I don't know. I mean, that'd
be awesome.
But of course, yeah. I mean, one of the villains. I mean, that I would like to see at a future show that we'll probably see him at a future show at some point is Mr. Vernon Wells. We got to get to know him a little bit better at Lexington, and he's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, I interviewed him. He's a very humble, down to earth guy. Class act.
That seems to be a trend with the Time Force. Like all the Time Force casts, they all seem like, just based on our interviews with Jason Font and especially Aaron Cahill, they are some of the nicest people I've ever met. And even Michael Capon, crazy as he is, was a pretty cool guy. That's a crew I'd like to see the whole crew back again.
That's something that you might be getting next year. So,
let us.
You heard it here first, folks.
So,
he's still my Time Force fanboy heart.
Actually, at Lexington, Vernon gave me his business card. It was a 8x10 autographed photo with his email address on the back. So that was pretty cool.
Nice. I interviewed him at Morphicon back in 2012, and Matty's been wanting to meet him for the longest time. He's the big Schwarzenegger fan. Of course, Vernon Wells is also Bennett in Commando, and that's like probably Matty's favorite, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, you probably recognize this line. I don't need no guns! I want to kill you now!
You're getting old, John.
Getting old.
Old.
Yeah.
Let me see what happens when I turn it.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
Oh, you can tell we're already hyped up here. So for those of you guys who have not gotten your tickets yet, Rangerstop.com is the website. November 13th to the 15th. I believe it's all still at the Holiday Inn Suites across from Universal.
That's correct.
Yep, 5905 South Kirkman Road, Orlando, Florida. November 13th to the 15th. Make sure you guys get your tickets ASAP. They're going fast, and trust me, you guys really want to get those VIPs. I've got footage of the VIP dinner that I still need to edit together to show you guys just how awesome that is, and we will be sharing that soon.
And you saw the first person, Matty, with the introductions. That room got packed, and it got awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that. And like after dark panels, whole bunch of different events, and of course, you know the three of us will have our own panels to go on there as well. And all types of insanity. So make sure you guys get your tickets now. Dude, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure.
Thanks for having us on, man. We appreciate it as always. And thank you for showing all the Ranger love and support. It's very nice.
Absolutely. It easy. I believe we have one other interview. We have 2 other interviews at this point yet to come.
Yes, we do. I believe so. So, don't go nowhere, folks. Yeah, we need to have a freaking we need to have a radio soundbite for like Rangerstop. It needs to be like one of those monster truck things. It's like November Rangerstop. You'd better be dead or in jail to miss this. And if you're in jail, break out. Be there.
Sunday.
Yeah, so we got Manny for. We got him to do the voices. I don't know if you've seen any of the other older Ranger Stop TV spots that we did that I uploaded on YouTube. The person you're hearing them is Manny, and that's his Dragon Ball Z voice that he does. Yeah, so if you watch any of those old ones, the guy who always says "be there," that's Manny.
Cool.
So you got, go ahead, Izzy.
No, I was just saying that's awesome. You got such a booming voice to announce that.
He's pretty good at changing it up. Changing his voice inflection. So yeah, and actually, I think Mikey actually has that on his voicemail. Do you still have that, Mikey?
Yes. When you call my phone, you will hear Manny talk about Rangerstop, and it ends with "be there." It's awesome. My family is tired of hearing it for the last year. But it's epic, so they have to.
It works out. All right, recapper, stay tuned. We got more for you guys coming up.
SPD emergency!
Hi guys, this is Alicia Perrott, aka Sydney Drew SPD Pink. I so wish I could be there today for the podcast. I had a prior commitment, but I'm really looking forward to Rangerstop in November. SPD's 10th anniversary, I can't believe it, but I'm so excited to see the other SPD Rangers and all the fans. So we'll see you in November.
Hello, Toku Faithful. Welcome back to the Ranger Recap, and we have some special guests here in the call right now. First, big shout out to the guy who, he was SPD Red for a while. Then he was, first he was blue, then he was red. The big guy, Sky Tate, Chris Violette. How we doing, Chris?
How's it going, guys? How are you?
Good to have you on here, man. Our first Ranger ever on Ranger Recap. Chris, take a bow.
Thanks, guys.
If you can, audio-wise. That matter.
I think he gets the idea.
Do I win a prize for being the first one on here, or what? Do I win a prize, a door prize for being the first one on, or what?
We'll figure something out.
Rights, that's for sure.
We'll figure something out.
He's not alone. I believe his manager is here, the one who actually set this up for us. Luch, you there?
Hey, yo, that's me, manager. I've never been called that before. Just buddy. I'm just buddy, just hanging out.
Well,
he's my personal trainer.
Yeah, just
you had a part. You helped out in behind the scenes of the show, if I recall.
Yeah, I was actually on Super Megaforce. I got to be SPD Green in the Legendary War. So I was a suit guy, but I was still there. It was awesome. I was on set, with JDF and everybody up there. It was fun. It was great. It was come on,
Don't let him downplay it, guys. He's a Ranger. Full.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Got 2 Rangers on the show. Let's give it up for both of them.
1.5. 1.5. I'll take it.
Close enough. That's close enough to get you on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're just as welcome here as Chris is in our eyes.
Yeah,
So.
that is for
I
sure.
mean, you're no blue, no red, no commander, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
You get to use the battleizer like you did, right, Chris?
Oh my God, jeez, he's not even allowed near the battleizer.
I can see it behind glass.
I mean,
Actually,
I think you dusted it off once in a while, but that was about it.
Actually, Chris, funny you mentioned that. One of our fans actually asked about at least the episode that you got to do that, where the Reflections episode.
Yeah.
Like when you read the script for that, what was your reaction to that one? Because that was a very heartfelt episode.
Reflections was definitely, I think, one of the. I mean, I enjoyed shooting that episode. Like, I mean, you look at the script and how it was played out. We kind of got the idea of like a Silence of the Lamb kind of thing. You know, where you go to this creepy prison and you're interrogating this prisoner, and he pulls the heartstrings of Sky's past and his father's past, and then I guess what happened when you get to that point where and I loved the fact that it was a continuation, and there was a 2-parter, because then you get to see the difference of how Sky reacts to how he feels like he let himself down, he let his team down, and then he gets to I guess step up to bat with the battleizer, and he takes him on in the end. It was good. I really enjoyed those two parters.
Yeah, that was good. And of course, now there's that fan conspiracy because of the picture of your
oh
Sky's
God,
dad.
Yeah,
you heard it, huh?
Oh my God,
you haven't heard the end of that, huh?
Never done.
Oh man.
Well, because I met who was I with?
And
and we talked about it, and I was like, dude, there's a lot of talk going on around here. That you're my dad or something like that. I think I'm a little too old to be his son, dude.
Yeah, well,
Chris, let the fans dream, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let them dream.
I don't want to take anyone's dreams away. I'm sorry.
Well, let's just not let Darth Vader in.
Yeah, here you go.
Exactly. That's like. Yeah. Also, Chris, that episode, Reflections. Yeah, I did a top 10 Power Rangers sagas, and yes, Reflections was high on that list. What I did, it was a Law and Order parody.
Oh,
where
nice.
I did the dun, and then cut to your interview with Murloc, or your interrogation, I should say. That was fun to do.
Yeah. No, I really that whole season I got a lot of cool eps. Even the one where I changed bodies with an alien. I got a chance to play a whole different really weird looking character. So anytime you get to push the boundaries of your abilities to showcase different characteristics, during a scene or a script, it's obviously one of the things you remember when you're working. So.
Yeah, you definitely worked it good. I think we can honestly say amongst the three of us is that SPD was one of the better seasons of the Disney era, without a doubt.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to look at the producers and the directors and writing for that. I mean, Gregor Wanowitz took a lot of his. All the background alien features that he put into that, all the prosthetic work that went into that show. That was, it was a lot of work, but I mean, it made it look more real for me. I mean, and I think as well, being cadets and being from an SPD space base, it's a little bit more reachable to be cops policing the world, an academy that you could join and, help the fight against, aliens and humans living in harmony kind of thing,
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that, Chris, because another question we got, this one's from Eric Vaughn. What were your impressions of the police theme of SPD?
I mean, I didn't mind. I think it was a good, you kind of wanted to showcase the fact that we weren't really, cops right off the bat, right? We were cadets. Right. I mean, I like the fact that we had to earn our stripes. We were kind of like, you see some of the first episodes where we're walking around, we're visiting Piggy, and we're trying to get to investigate all these, different crimes or whatnot. But then you realize that as the show goes on and the season progresses, that the seriousness of these cases get a little bit more broad, and we actually have to become cops and more of that responsibility, as opposed to just a gang of kids going around trying to police the world.
So you basically go from beat cops to hard-boiled detectives.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is Law and Order.
You're right. This is Law and Order SPD version.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's what it feels like.
No, but I liked it, man. I mean, like, you know, I got to drive around on a motorbike. You know, we had a Jeep. You know, I mean, and then I had a hovercraft when I morphed. It was like, you know, you got to look at the vehicles and everything that went into the base. You know, having the chain of command of going like from Commander Birdie to Kruger, and you know, geez, it was good. It was good. Yeah,
I'm kind of glad it kind of sucks because they mentioned once a Ranger that you took over Kruger's position, and I'm kind of PO'd that we didn't get to see you run SPD.
Oh my God, that would have been awesome.
Awesome. Sky taking charge of the whole operation, man.
That would have been awesome. I just wanted to sit in that chair.
I know.
Who wouldn't? One of our other fans, or we call him the Hairball, he actually asked about if you've seen the Japanese counterpart that your show was based on, Deca Ranger. Have you ever watched that?
I saw clips of it, but I never really sat down and watched it. I mean, I know I saw I saw the Japanese Kruger version. It looks totally a little different than ours.
Yeah.
But I know
I think ours looks better. I think ours looks a little better.
Doesn't the Japanese version have a little bit more isn't there like, don't they show blood and like, isn't it a little bit more risque kind of thing, or?
Well, it's funny you mention that, Chris, because instead of capturing the villains in cards, they actually like scan them with the badges, and if it's X, they say delete approved. So they're actually doing capital punishment on the villains here.
Wow,
that's true.
I know, right? It's like, man,
Wow.
it's like, what are we in the Japan part of Texas here?
Nice.
I brought that up when I reviewed Deca Ranger. That's what I do. I review these Toku shows, and I brought that. It's like, you got a damn dog cannon. It's funny because I mentioned that. It's like when Doggy Kruger becomes Shadow Ranger or Deca Master in that, and they're all relying on him to do their battles for him. I was like, beat him yourself, you lazy bastards! You got a damn dog cannon.
Well, and another going back to that, like making one of the reasons SPD I think was so memorable is you look at the work that was put in to make Doggy Kruger come to life.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, you know, you could, when you were up close and you saw close-ups of him on the screen, you could see the scales on his face, and like, you know, it was definitely the animatronics that went into that was phenomenal. And again, goes a shout out to the producers and the director Greg for his work on that, man.
You need to
Absolutely.
get back for another Power Rangers show, I think.
Yeah. Another fan, John Shearer, actually asked this, considering that your character was the serious one. He wanted to ask a goofier question. What was the craziest thing you did or saw behind the scenes? And also, he also wanted to mention his 10-year-old daughter Jasmine has a crush on you. And apparently,
shout out to Jasmine.
Yeah, you'll be seeing her at Rangerstop apparently. So
okay, that's cool. I don't know, man. I mean, you're now we're going back 10 years, so you're trying to make my brain work here. I don't know. I mean, there was always crazy stuff done on set. I think one of the biggest gags on set was when this is going back, like, this was 2004. So I think like Facebook was still being invented, and like you know, iPhones were just coming out, and so everyone would around set would have like flip phones or like, you know, regular Motorola's. So we would go around and like turn people's cell phones on and then call them during takes. So if you wrecked a take, you had to buy a case of beer at the end of the week.
I know where this comes from. This is evil. This is the same thing that happened on Mythbusters.
That was going prank on set with everybody. I mean, nowadays, you know, you need a passcode and a thumbprint to get into someone's phone. To turn the ringer on.
It's funny, we've heard the same story out of Mythbusters. It's wow, okay.
No, but I'm excited. Actually, mentioning Rangerstop, I'm excited this year. I know it's 10 years, but you know, like, and with the help of Luch, you still there? Did you pass out?
No,
am I that boring, dude?
No, I'm here. I'm laughing.
Did I make you fall asleep?
Dude, you are the show, bro. You're the big show. Man. It's
we're on this joint right now.
Thanks to Luch, I'm helping. Luch is helping me trying to get into more conventions because you know, being a 10-year anniversary, I kind of want to get out there and meet with the fans more often and get the one-on-one personal touches in, because I mean, the show after 10 years and we still have like fans that are fans of it, so it's like, you know, you want to do as much as you can to connect with people that have enjoyed the show. So
Yeah, I mean, and Rangerstop, of course, bringing a 10-year anniversary for SPD. You're going to be seeing all your old friends again. The whole crew's coming home.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were just in PowerCon, right? Or was
Yeah,
it?
Morphicon. Everybody but Matt. Everybody but
Matt.
Yeah, Matt canceled from what I heard. Now, that's a shame because I wanted to interview him.
Yeah.
Matt's too famous now.
Maybe we'll get another chance at Rangerstop. Who knows?
Yeah.
I told him about Rangerstop, and when I saw him at Whistler Film Festival promoting his movie, Pretend We're Kissing, which is a great flick.
Yeah,
Shout out to Matt Austin. Zoe Kravitz is in that one. But yeah, no, I shouted him out, and I was like, dude, you got to come to these conventions, man. I like seeing the family back together again. I see Brando more often than anybody, though. I mean, I see Brando quite a bit because, I have a business partner in Florida that I go down and visit once in a while, and you usually bump into each other in L.A. But yeah, other than that, I see Matt once in a while when I was living in Toronto, and that's it. Had a meeting with Ali when I came out to here to say hello, and that's it. But yeah, gotta get Matt out to these conventions, guys. Come on.
Come on, Matt. You gotta get you don't miss this one, man. You gotta have at least one with all 5. And also, I wanted to bring something up because I was doing some research, and apparently you and your fellow SPD star Monica May did a movie together. La Beau, I believe it's called.
Yeah, Lebu. Yeah, we did that in New Orleans.
Yeah, it looks. I haven't had a chance to see it, but it looks interesting from what I can tell.
Well, it's a completely different character than Sky. I play.
Obviously.
I play like this oil tycoon's dim-witted son kind of story. It's kind of like a little bit of a Goonies meets E.T.-ish kind of thing. I don't know.
Wow.
But it was cool. But I mean, how it came about, and like when you're asking about what goes on behind the scenes, is that with Greg Aronowitz, the director, I was such a goofball on set between takes that he's like, okay, wait, like I got this character I want you to play if you're such a goofball. And then I read the script, and we ended up after we shot the show, went to New Orleans, and we shot the film, which coincidentally, we were there for Katrina, and we had to get evacuated, and that was a whole other experience. But yeah, we ended up going back afterwards, and I got a lot of my nieces and nephews and a lot of the little ones that like it and enjoy it, so it's fun. Yeah.
I'll have to show that one to my kids someday because I got 2 little ones who'd probably enjoy that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's a Saturday night one for the family. And then you can tell me how bad you think my accent is. That's not believable. He's not from the South. That's not believable.
I'm sure I've heard worse.
I know.
Trust me, with what I've watched, I'm sure I've heard worse.
There you go.
So let me see. I think that's almost about everything. I think one last question we have to ask for you is, what else can we expect from Chris Violette as we head towards the future?
Dun, dun, dun. Well, I moved out to Van, started my own production company, working on some independent films. I'm working with Luch actually as well. I want to start creating my own films. I finished an independent film out of Chicago last year, and we're just finishing the final edit. It's called Red Windows. It's a psychological thriller. You go onto redwindowsmovie.com or csventertainment.com, and you can see that. I'm hoping that it was on a shoestring budget, but it was, when you get to a psychological thriller and scary parts of movies, you can let the audience feel their subconscious, whatever they feel they think is scary or whatever they feel that might happen. So we're trying to push that idea and get and see what kind of response we get in some of the festivals we're going to submit it to, and if that goes well, then hopefully the next one will be. But I think Luch and I are trying to lean towards more action packed. I think, right?
We are, yes, we are. Chris is actually. You guys should see this dude in the gym. He's a beast, absolute beast. he wrecks the pads. You don't even want to know.
Luch is my Muay Thai trainer.
Yeah,
and this guy spar all the time.
We like, we get our fight on for sure. Chris is
you train me in the art of Muay Thai.
Train in the art of 8 limbs, my friend.
8 limbs. I'm learning.
Yeah.
Matty, maybe they should try their hand at Ultimate Fighting. Maybe they can face CM Punk.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why, guys. This guy's don't even say half a Ranger. This guy when he spars in the gym in in the dojo. Holy jeez, man, this guy gets scary.
Yeah, it's a scary thing for sure. I don't get to morph, but oh man, we put.
Well, you were already in the suit. You did morph. What
Yeah,
are you talking about?
exactly.
Well, I didn't have a cool like scene where I got to like jump and flip and like all these tunnels were behind me and all that cool stuff. So,
You didn't have to rely on jump cuts, basically. It was all you.
Yeah. I did the old school like quick morph, where it's just like you walk behind a tree and you come out and the morph is done.
Hey, whatever works.
Hey.
By the way, Luch, you yourself got anything else coming up?
Myself, me.
Yes.
Me? Oh, hey.
You're part of this interview too.
Yeah, I guess. No, you know what? I'm just having a blast, and I cannot wait for Rangerstop. I'm so excited. I'm so stoked that I was able to, have a hand in making it happen. As lucky as I am to be friends with these guys, and to consider myself a friend of Chris and Brandon, to get to hang out with these guys regularly. I am a fan. You know what I mean? I am a fan, and I grew up watching this show, and I do like to see things that would make fans happy. I know what I would like to see, and I'm excited for Rangerstop. I'm excited to see everybody together. I'm excited for, the 10-year, and I'm just, it's cool. It's cool for me to see these things, man. Like I get just as fanboy and crazy about this stuff as anyone else. So
one of us.
I mean, I freaked out. I mean, God, when I was on Super Megaforce, there was a moment where I just wish I had like a GoPro or something on my head. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward, and there's all Rangers in front of me. I look to my side. There's the original veteran Rangers, and there's pyro, and there's a crew in front of me. And I look down at my own body, and I'm wearing a freaking suit. And I'm just like, holy crap! It's one of those moments where you're like.
Despite all the fans' problems with Super Megaforce, we freaking loved that scene. I mean, that was just like pure euphoria, and you made that possible.
Well, no, I was just it.
Well, you had a hand in it. So.
You had a hand in it. That's better than anything, right?
It's one of those things where you look down and you look around and you're like, holy crap. This is
living the dream, man.
Yeah, after that, I had to be an adult for a while. So. The guy's like, okay, let's be a grown up. Wow, this is kind of cool, but
he still wears tights.
I still wear them. I'm wearing them now. I wear them all the
That's how you do it.
On your heating bill.
Hey, we got to thank you, man. You're making this happen for us too. We're gonna be glad to meet both of you guys at Rangerstop this year.
Rangerstop's gonna be awesome, man. Rangerstop's gonna be awesome. Looking forward to it.
We
like
went to.
we said earlier, guys. Get your tickets while you can. Rangerstop.com, November 11th to the 15th.
Get your VIPs. Get your whatever your photo ops, whatever they've got. Get them, because this is gonna be a blast. Chris, you want to plug your Insta, your Twitter? Put that up there.
At CS Violette, I got a few followers. Try and get those followers up. Yeah, but at CS Violette on Twitter. At CS Violette on Instagram. I'm actually pretty good. I touch base with a lot of people through social media. So if you ever want to chat me up or get a hold of me, if I'm near some Wi-Fi when I'm traveling, let me know. And I usually reach out to all my fans on Insta and Twitter. And obviously, Chris Violette fan page on Facebook. That's always there too. So.
I know I follow you on Twitter. I'm not sure about Instagram, but I'll rectify that if it's not. But I know I follow you on Twitter.
Yeah, CS Violette.
Yeah, I know I have a whole list of Power Rangers actors.
He's like, CS Violette, just get it. Get
it. You're listening to 101.5 The Wolf.
Learn it, know it, live it.
All right, guys, this was fun, man.
It's great having you on here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate that. And all you guys listen, better get that Rangerstop, man. We're looking forward to seeing and meeting all you guys.
Be there.
Sunday.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Saturday.
And Friday.
Oh, you know the drill.
I'm going to wear tights all 3 days.
We'll hold you to that. Better be careful.
I know, seriously. Next thing you know, I'm going to be signing my life over to wear tights for the entire Rangerstop convention.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to anyone listening to this podcast. It is Matty Sadowski, otherwise known as Bridge Carson, the SPD Green Ranger with a fondness for buttery toast. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to make this live podcast chat with my fellow awesome Power Rangers who I miss dearly. I can't wait to see them at Rangerstop, and I can't wait to meet all of you who are listening right now. Get your tickets. We have an amazing lineup of things planned. Some surprises, and just some smiles and some hugs, some kisses, some finger wiggling to do while we're out at Rangerstop. And I hope to see you all there. I can't wait to see you all there. And what else is there to say but be buttery to each other. All right, take care.
SPD emergency!
Well, that escalated quickly.
Didn't it?
Downhill there.
Yeah, let me lower that down a little bit for everybody if I can.
Yeah. Really.
There we go. We'll just cut that off.
Hey.
And that was our interview with Chris, Violette, and Luch, who is in chat right now. Luch, stand up, take a bow, virtually. Give this man a hand, Toku Faithful. He is awesome. The behind-the-scenes guys don't get enough love, and we should rectify that.
Yeah, seriously. And besides, if it wasn't for him, none of this would be possible. So you have him to thank. You have Luch to thank for making tonight happen. Thank you, sir.
And making Rangerstop happen, which is freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's even better. Yeah. Or actually, I should be like Lad Russo from Bakudo. It's even better. I'll have to remember to do that from now on. Yeah, I know. Finger wiggling. I love that. He said the finger.
Oh, man.
Oh, honestly. And I know there were some people asking about, like, you know, wanting to ask their own questions. Yeah, this was pre-recorded, so unfortunately, if you guys had questions, you missed your chance. But we, as like this time, we will be accepting fan questions the next time we have one of these opportunities. So just have your questions ready for next time, depending on what guests we've actually managed to get.
Stay tuned. That's the best thing you can do. Keep tuned to Ranger Recap, because you never know who we're going to have on here. And this was a milestone for Ranger Recap. Our first Power Ranger guest ever, and Luch, because he's awesome.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he's a Ranger too.
Yeah, he's a Ranger too, and you can't
teach that. Bada boom! Realist Recap is in the room. How you doing? Thank you. Our wrestling fans loving it. The rest of you, no.
Don't worry, folks. It's only the most over thing in NXT right now. If you don't have the network, you're nerds enough for being along with us. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but yes. By the way, speaking of fans and sending stuff in, surprisingly enough, we still have it. Matty, do you want to hit that button?
I just need to hit the tablet button before I hit the other button, because I was just listening and enjoying the interview, and then I realized, oh crap, I have a show to do.
I know, right?
We're too
I like
good.
the sound of my voice. It sounds good. No, we still have to. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 emails here, which means you know what time it is. It's not morphing time. No, it's time for your emails and comments of the week. You can send them at the bottom of the page of where Easy posts the Ranger Recap at tokutai.me or rangerrecap at gmail.com. Now, part of this email was already read because it was Mike Shell, but I'll let the rules guy tell you the rules.
Yeah, if you guys are going to send your emails and comments, keep in mind the following rules. Toku questions only. No, nothing, no anime, no wrestling, as much as we love it. Can't talk about it here. No more than 2 to 3 questions. Go ahead, Matty.
I got my own show for the wrestling, by the way.
And I've got one for anime, so we'll save them for that. No more than 2 to 3 questions per comment, and in regards to that, no versus questions. We do not need X versus Y. We do that enough around here. Besides, we have a Sentai tournament. We've got that covered. We'll be getting to that shortly. 1 email per person per episode, and please keep the comments as brief as you possibly can. We know you guys have a lot to talk about. Just try to keep it down to the bare basics, and only put in details when you absolutely have to. Now, Getting back to that email, yeah, Mike Shell sent us an email earlier mentioning about the whole, randomizer issue, which I'm still working on, by the way. But he did say, first of all, he was very happy about the interview. He was very glad we got that interview. He says, but as far as that interview we just heard, wow, just amazing. It's definitely getting me excited for Rangerstop this year. Funny, he sent this email before we played the interview. How did you figure? Never mind.
we just told him it was awesome and he was excited for it. That's pretty much what
he took our word for it.
He took our word for it. Anyway, two emails, by the way. But I don't know. Any comments on your end, Easy?
One. Just
all right,
one.
so 2 emails, 1 comment, 3 things. That's fine. It's great for running long as it is anyway.
It's pretty short.
Yeah, now on to my vote. We have the Dancing Dino Rangers versus the original Land, Sea, and Air team. By the way, for those of you who are new here, we're doing a Super Sentai Tournament Best of, and right now it is Kyoryuger, the source of Dino Charge, for those of you who are not Sentai fans, versus a very old school one, Taiyo Sentai Sun Vulcan. So we'll see here anyway. Dino Rangers versus the original Land, Sea, and Air team. I guess you could call them the first Centurions, if you will.
I get it.
I figured you would, Easy. That one was just for you. The first team to use an animal-based motif. The first team to have a true sword master on the team. Sorry, Torn and Soji. The only Sentai to serve as a direct sequel to the one prior. The first 3-member team. And the first to teach Toei a very simple lesson. You always put at least one girl on the team, or there will be discord in the fandom.
You think?
If you can't tell by now where my vote lies, then I am sure Easy will agree risk more for all other arguments are invalid. And Sun Vulcan takes my vote and this round. Till next time, who leave in the Fez mode?
Wow. Yeah. Huh. Someone voted for Sun Vulcan. That's one more than I thought it would get.
Anyway, Matty, you want to take Solar Star?
I believe I will take the Solar Star person. Let me get their Solar Star here. And first, I'd like to talk about VR Troopers. Back when it aired, I always wondered why the Troopers rarely fought together.
If ever.
If ever. It turned out stock footage from different Metal Hero shows. Metalder, Ryan's first suit, Spielban, JB and Caitlin suits, and Space Sheriff Shader, I'm saying it both ways. Ryan's second suit. I read somewhere that the suits were almost 10 years old at the time. At the time, they couldn't take much more. They could take much abuse. There were times where the show they would preach about teamwork, but it's kind of hard to do that when stock footage wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, that is a problem.
They always worked around it. They were always they were always connected, always coordinated. They knew what they thought. And there's Battle Grid mode, but we don't talk about Battle Grid mode.
Oh, God, no. Also, they kind of put over Ryan Steele. And don't take this as Ryan Steele bashing, because Brad Hawkins is a hell of a guy. Met him at Morphicon. Jonimus and Chat can attest to this. But anyway, it seemed like they were trying to, I hate to go back to wrestling here, it's like they were trying to make Ryan look strong. Just like Roman.
And I think I can explain why, too, because I think what the problem is that originally the pilot, Cybertron, as they called it,
Yeah, it was a solo thing. I think that kind of carried over, sadly.
Yeah, I don't think they really planned on having a 3-man team, but when they realized they needed to, well, they kind of threw this other group in just for the hell of it. But yeah, originally Cybertron was supposed to be a solo guy, and guess who the lead was supposed to be?
Should I hit the button again? Can I hit the button again? Can I hit the button again?
Hit it! Yeah! You remember this from earlier? That guy.
Cena.
Not Cena.
Not Cena, no, but the Cena of Power Rangers.
Yeah. In fact, I know for a fact you can find footage of the pilot on YouTube. It exists.
I have seen the pilot. It's not pretty to look at.
No, I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that after all.
Ooh.
And DL Bot, the Battle Grid suits were basically a repainted Red Ranger suit, and badly painted, I might add.
Well, the
God,
helmets badly painted. The suits were, well, better than the ones than the knockoffs
Dark
they
Rangers.
used with the Zed Rangers.
Yeah,
The Dark Rangers.
but that's not
Yeah.
saying much.
They used spandex. That's something. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Anyway, now on to Sun Vulcan versus Kyoryuger. 10 against 3 would make this a very one-sided, but let's make it fair. The first Fall Eagle was Ryusuke?
Yes.
I'm bad with names. Whom led the team until episode 23 to go to work the NASA. Better than some peace conference. Takayuki became the second Volt Eagle, from whom was very good with a sword. Daigo ain't too shabby with a sword, but he does have carnival mode. Kinya, Volshark, had a rough life, and he lost his family in a war in Africa and fights hard for world peace. No-san pretty much had the same virtues, but looking after his younger sister and her daughter when her husband died. Asao. Thank you. That sounded familiar to me for some reason. Sao.
I think I know why. Moving on.
It's a Toonami talking. Vol Panther was pretty much the muscle, but the downside, he was scared of dogs. Was he? Sorry, I had to.
So basically, so he's like the prototype Red Buster.
Yeah. True. Since Kyoryuger had no yellow senshi, I think Shoji would step in quite good with swords. Overall, I'm giving this one to Kyoryuger due to numbers.
Fair enough.
On the roundabout way to go through. A few things to note: that Sun Vulcan was a direct sequel to Denziman, and Queen Hendrion, played by the late Machiko Soga, the late great Machiko Soga. I'm still screwing up the damn name.
Pace yourself, Matty. Pace yourself. Slow down.
Was the big bad of both series, though not quite as much in the latter. There were rumors at the time of a possible crossover between Denziman and Sun Vulcan. Stan Lee himself said he was interested in bringing up Sun Vulcan over to the States. Jeez, what could have been?
By the way, I should note, if you don't know who Machiko Soga is, let's just say, you're giving me a headache.
Yeah.
I think that's all I need to say.
And if you don't get that reference, you're soft.
Yeah. If you don't get that reference, what the hell are you doing on a Power Rangers podcast?
Exactly. Questions. Find it funny that the Sixth Ranger's effectiveness becomes no better than the core team after his debut.
Oh, they can't make him too strong, otherwise the show becomes about them, and that can be a problem.
I think that's why they gave the role of mentor to most of the extra Rangers.
Yeah, you could say that. Especially in the later series. As far as the earlier series, it depends. They've always found the way to either, I guess, equalize is a good way to put it, but at the same time, they always made it make sense.
Yeah.
You know, it always makes sense. You know. And number 2, has MMPR nostalgia run dry for you personally?
I don't think...
Yes and no.
Yeah. I think some aspects of it, like trying to go back and watch the old episodes, is difficult at times. Like, I'm not blinded by it. It's a flawed series without question, but, you know, I still have those memories. I still have those times where I would rush home and sit, you know, just to get to see the newest Power Rangers episode. Not caring about the whole Sentai thing. Not worried about, you know, how the footage was handled. Not being the critic that I am today. And just enjoying it for what it was. And there's that nostalgic part of me that still exists. And it's part of the reason why I'm still a fan, because I can still have those nostalgic feelings. When a good season comes out, all those feelings come flooding back to me. But I'm certainly not as nostalgic about it as I used to be.
Easy, you want to take it?
To be perfectly fair, if it wasn't for Power Rangers, I wouldn't be reviewing Toku these days. So, it'd be hard for me to hate it.
Yeah.
But it's Saban. I mean, most of those shows are so cheesy. They're great. I mean, they're just something you've got to see. I mean, I know that we take some later shows seriously, like Time Force and whatnot, but back then they were just flying by the seat of their pants. They didn't know what they were doing. They weren't copying the Sentai. They were just, well, for lack of a better term, they were winging it. And it was interesting to see what they pulled.
Yeah.
For me personally, not as much. I mean, yes, I'm kind of like in the boat of the Shades in a sense. If it's bad, ooh, it feels bad. But when it's good, like Dino Charge has been, it's like, wow, I feel like a kid again.
Mm-hmm.
And again, for him, it's the afternoon. For me, it was the early mornings for the original PR run.
Either or.
But yeah, you wake up 7:30 in the morning, and there it is, and you're going. That's how you spent breakfast right there.
Yeah.
But I just wish Bandai of America could figure out that lesson and move past Mighty Morphin. I think that's the thing more than anything. It's like we love Mighty Morphin, but it doesn't stop there for Power Rangers.
Mm.
That is the that's where we draw the line with Bandai of America.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that.
Before I send it to Easy for what he holds in his hand, the last comment of the night. I wanted to mention Luch, who had already left. I wanted to mention, if he's still listening, I think he might have gotten the NXT reference, but we'll have to bring it up at Rangerstop.
If not sooner.
He brought it up. But, and two, he said, all right, thanks for listening, and thanks to the whole RVT team. Now I'm off to go try and wrangle some Rangers for the next podcast.
I'm assuming he means for another podcast, but if he's saying he's gonna get more for us, that's gonna be
sure. If you could do that, that's awesome. If not, you've done plenty already.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just happy with this. Hey,
anything else is just the cherry on top.
Just gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the email, and I send it over to Mr. Easy Rider.
Yes, and I hold in my hand the last and only comment. From all people, interesting handle they picked to comment on here, Michiru Kaio. And if you're a hardcore Mooney like me and Matty over here, that's Sailor Neptune.
Oh!
I didn't know Sailor Neptune listened to the Ranger recap.
Hey, that by extension would mean Sailor Uranus would be listening too, and that's kind of, I'm digging that. I have no problem with that.
I forgot. Oh, Sailor Uranus. Everyone hates you but me. No, I'm kidding. No, everyone wants you. Everybody wants you. Seriously. Guys and girls want Sailor Uranus. Anyway, moving on. The comment reads, it doesn't say anything, you have to read it. This was cool. I loved VR Troopers when I was a kid. Alrighty then.
Fair enough.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it.
I was expecting a longer one.
So was I. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure. All right, well, that's it, I guess. Yeah, those are the emails and comments of the week. Send them at the bottom of the page where Easy Rider posts the Ranger Recap, tokutai.me, or rangerrecap@gmail.com.
Yeah, but hey, before you guys go over, we have one last thing to talk about here tonight. It is time to talk about the tournament. That's right, the Super Sentai tournament we talked about earlier. Last round. Tonight we've been voting the votes out here. Juden Sentai, Kyoryu-ja versus Taiyo Sentai, Sun Vulcan. You've already been hearing the comments from a couple of our guys tonight. And with a final score of 9-3, with 75% of the votes, our winner, it's Kyoryu-ja.
What a shock.
Yeah, Kyoryuja will be moving on in the Sentai tournament. And here's the updated tournament for you guys now. Again, I'm not spoiling who is going up next. All I'm gonna say is that Kyoryuger has a hell of a fight ahead of them. Oh boy. I will not be surprised if they get knocked out in the next round. I will not say how. But that brings
It's gonna be a tough one.
It is. But that brings us... Sorry, go ahead.
It's gonna be split. It's gonna be split in the middle, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, that brings us to our next round of the tournament. Who's fighting next, ladies and gentlemen? Well...
Next time on Sentai Battle.
Yeah, and I will be having the straw poll set up almost pretty much immediately after the show. And I will tweet that out on my Twitter at TheShadesAT and on the RVT Twitter at RVTOfficial. So make sure you guys follow us. Links for all of our Twitters and Facebooks are in the description below. So who's fighting next? Well, let's start off. For our first contestant, when a scientist predicted the resurrection of a powerful demon, no one believed him. But when it came true, he returned from hiding to give his children the means to stop them. From 1999, it is QQ Sentai.
Go!
Go!
5! Yes, folks, the series that spawned Lightspeed Rescue.
And the awesomeness that is Carter Grayson.
Which, by the way, we can officially say, yes, Sean C.W. Johnson, a.k.a. Carter Grayson himself, will be at Rangerstop this year, so make sure you guys head for that. To give you one more reason you guys should be. I know they were talking about in the chat earlier, so...
The secret's out. I think DTR has spilled the beans, so it's safe to announce.
Well, it's not just that. It has been announced on the Facebook page, too, on the Rangerstop Facebook, which is the only reason I would even bring it up.
So there you go. So, yep, next Rangerstop guest, Carter Grayson, Lightspeed Rescue, Red Ranger.
Indeed. Now, their opponents. A new energy source now runs the world. However, an evil organization from another dimension wants to use that energy to conquer it. It's up to 3 super agents and their robot partners to stop them. That's right, folks. From 2012, it's Tokume Sentai. Go Busters!
And I just got one thing to add to this. Let's muffin!
You can pretty much guess which side Easy's gonna be on.
Sorry, Matty. Easy Rider is no longer here. I'm Easy Buster.
Oh, yeah,
I could have told you that.
Yeah.
So, time to show my love to my fellow Busters. Busters, ready? Go!
I even did the hand slap.
So did I.
Yeah, Go Busters is up next against Go 5. I hate to say it, come on guys, we got as much as I love Go Busters, the old school Sentai teams have been getting shafted every single round.
Honori Saban!
Well, this one we can't even blame Saban for because, well, Saban didn't do this one, you bastards.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Honori Saban for skipping this.
Yeah, seriously.
But we're not eligible to vote. We work here, so it's all up to you guys.
Yeah, and I'm actually setting up
for Go Busters. I'll be your best friend. Not in a creepy Gentaro way.
Oh, God. No.
I'm going to say this is this. Ça va, Go 5?
No.
Très bien.
Yeah, so that is your vote for the next tournament. And actually, as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, the poll is open. I can't post. I don't think I can post. Actually, let me see if I can. If it'll let me.
It's in the description.
No, not this poll.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the new poll will be in the description somewhere, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't post the link in the chat because YouTube's kind of a dick that way. So I apologize, you won't be able to get the link. But if you guys follow me on Twitter at TheShadesAT or on the official RVT Twitter at RVTOfficial, you guys will see the link to the straw poll where you guys can vote on the next battle. And the results of that will be announced next episode, 2 weeks from now, on the next Ranger Recap Live.
Yep. We're still working on that Facebook page thing. It's a slow process. We're still looking for somebody to run it.
Yeah, that's
because we can't.
Yeah, not exactly. All right, let me just do this.
Hey, Mike, want to make a buck? No, seriously. No, seriously. $1. $1. $1.
Hey, Mike, want to make a buck? You just read you cheeky monkey. You referenced drummers.
Yes, I did. Also, good morning, Mr. Bassett. This is your wake-up call. Please move your ass.
Pika boy.
Also, one more. Hey, Matty, Chase, that interview, we killed it.
We did.
We killed it. Fuck you.
Actually, in their case, it'd be fuck yeah.
Either way, the joke works.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, Diehard Gamer in the chat is offering to run the fan page.
We may take you up on that, Diehard. We'll be in touch.
Yes. But that's it for us, guys.
Yep. Now, anything we've forgotten? Any plugs? Any news? Anything?
Sami Zayn was on Raw last night.
Here we go.
Save it for the WrestleCast. No, wait, you're skipping it.
I take 1 day off the WrestleCast. The biggest thing in wrestling happens. What the hell?
Figures are luck, right?
Actually, before we do go, we do have to give another shout out to Rangerstop. I know we've plugged the shit out of them this podcast. That's kind of our job. But we also have seen, actually thanks for Mikey and Jonimus, who posted something, that another guest will be dropped in May.
Yes. They have not told us who. They have not dropped any secrets on me yet, which they have done for me in the past, but no, they have not revealed anything to me. Maybe they're letting us have it next time. I don't know. If I find out anything, I'll hype the shit out of it, but otherwise, yeah.
Other than that, though, we do know someone's coming.
Yeah.
Matty, heard things?
I've heard stuff, but not among that.
Yeah, again, nothing's been confirmed. Definitely nothing official. But there's word on the street that somebody's been talking about going to Rangerstop. And, again, if we find out who, we'll see if we can report it. I don't know. But just keep your ears open. If we hear anything, we might at least drop some hints for you guys. Just keep your ears peeled.
Time will tell. Time will tell. Stay tuned.
Indeed.
We have a theory of who's coming, but it's only a Ranger theory. Thanks
for listening.
Well,
we love you.
I believe that is it.
Yeah. Oh, we got our normal stream schedule for all you guys tomorrow night. Matty Jay Live. Matty over here, you got your thing tomorrow night.
Yep, we probably are going to work on talk about the Sami Zayn thing since we're not going to have a WrestleCast this week. I am going to Ottawa Comic-Con, which is part of the reason why I've decided not to do a WrestleCast this week. Part because we have an entire family descending on the town this week, and well, I do need some time off.
Yeah.
So.
Also,
this week. We'll talk about the Sami Zayn thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Also, Thursday night, of course, Rift Down with TWK and the crew. He has to still watch. Poor bastard. And, of course, Friday night, I'm joining him for, and possibly even 60-Bit Jeff, don't know for sure, for game night. It's Wii U game night. Smash Brothers this week, I believe. So we're going to be kicking some ass in that. Do we know if LC's back yet?
Don't know. Who knows?
I mean, he's been riding high ever since him and Blockbuster chick finally got married.
They got married. It's gonna be a while, folks. So
yeah, I think he's still riding Cloud 9.
They'll be back when they're back.
Yeah, but Being Easy will be back on Sunday for more Toku Riffs Live, one way or the other. And oh dear God, Drive, man, drive. Kamen Rider Drive. Easy
or as I like to call it, watch Shades get pissed at Drive while we all sit and laugh and eat popcorn.
Yeah. Easy's indifferent. I am raging. I am not even joking, so. Oh, God help me. God help me.
Well, you like the door gun. That's a start, right? Right?
Maybe. Maybe. But, yeah. But at least we got Tokuger, which is still good. And so we got that. And it may not be this Sunday, but I think another movie night's coming soon, guys, because we got a lot of movies to catch up on again.
Yep.
But in the meantime, that's... and then, of course, Monday... We talked about it earlier tonight, but I will be doing a special Shades Plays of Chroma Squad next Monday night for you guys to check out. So you guys will definitely want to tune in for that. And I think that does it for the streams. What about you, Easy? You got anything, or is it time for jokes?
I think it's joke time. Anyway, while we wrap up, thanks for listening. Thanks one and all for this. Thanks to the Rangerstop crew. Thanks, Chris and Luch. Until the next Ranger Recap, I'm Easy Rider reminding you that I don't have a drug problem, I have a police problem. Yeah, I've actually got some police jokes because S.P.D. cops. And anyway, you guys hear the one? A police officer was patrolling the highway. He sees a guy tied up to a tree crying. Officer stops and approaches the guy. What's going on here? The guy stops. I was driving and pitched up by a hitchhiker. He pulled a gun on me, robbed me, took all my money, my clothes, my car, and tied me up. The cop studied the guy for a moment. And he pulled down his pants and he looked at him and he's like, I guess this isn't your lucky day, pal. Didn't like that one, huh?
Bad cops! Whoa! Bad cops!
Oh, yeah. Very bad cops. One day a man was filling his gas tank at the gas station. He filled the tank so the gasoline got on his shirt sleeve. Unaware that he had gasoline on his sleeve, he lit a cigarette and his sleeve caught fire. So he jumped into his car, waved his arm up and down in an effort to put out the flames. He looked into the rearview mirror, saw red, white, and blue light flashing, and he heard a police siren. The policeman pulled him over, got out of the patrol car, and he arrested the driver for having an illegal firearm.
Boom!
Didn't like that one, huh? There's just no pleasing you people. Anyway, I'm Easy Rider reminding you that the fan sub will never die. We are your Ranger Recappers. Make sure to tune in next time. And as always, don't forget to Dino Charge. And may the power protect you. Later.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important...
Jesus. What are you doing? We're going to put that in a poll. No. Okay. That's enough with the enough. Just get...